Hello, bronies. It's me. It's Clayton, and I just saw The Cart Before the Ponies, written by Ed Valentine and Mike Vogel. And once again, it's an entertaining Cutie Mark Crusaders episode with a good message. And the episode sort of reminds me of Mario Kart meets My Little Pony, and since I'm a big fan of Mario Kart from my youth, that's certainly a good thing. But let's get to the story. The story is that the Cutie Mark Crusaders and all the kids of Cheerlead's class are participating in the Applewood Derby, this traditional race around Ponyville. Apparently all the cities of Equestria have their own race, but I digress. The Crusaders happen to pick Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Rarity respectively to help them build their carts. But unfortunately, this causes the older ponies to take over the race and make it so that it's more about what they want rather than what the Crusaders want. I actually did like this concept, though I will say that one thing that sort of annoyed me initially was the fact that Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity seemed like they were completely disregarding the Crusaders throughout the episode, almost as if they had forgotten a lot of the previous lessons that they've learned before. I know it's weird for me to say that, but when you're in the middle of the 6th season of My Little Pony and their characters have learned so many lessons and matured so much, it's odd to see main characters who are as well developed as these three acting in the way they are. Luckily, this episode gets some major points when it comes to the presentation. I pretty much loved all the animation throughout the episode. The designs of the carts were very impressive. And the actual race itself, once it finally starts, is very action-packed and very fun to watch. It's not the best action sequence of My Little Pony, but hey, this isn't a Changeling invasion. This is a Mario Kart race. Or maybe a Sugar Rush race if you're more of a Wreck-It Ralph fan. Speaking of which, there's actually a song in this episode, and it seems that much like Ed Valentine's last song, Hearts as Strong as Horses, he knows how to write songs that are very action-packed, very fun to listen to, and have one heck of a great chorus. Giddy up, Derby Racers! Yeah, some other side notes that I decided to bring up about this episode are the fact that we actually see Snip's dad in this episode in the background if you look clearly enough. And I genuinely liked most of the flashbacks where we saw why Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity act the way they do in the episode, based on their racing experiences in the past. And even though it was getting sort of annoying how they seemed completely clueless to the Crusaders' thoughts on the actual matter, well, maybe not clueless, but they weren't listening to them, it does remind me more and more about a lesson that this episode teaches and one that I needed to learn as an older sibling. The fact that a lot of older siblings feel the need to talk down to the younger siblings. They feel like they know what's best, even when just because you're older doesn't mean you're wiser. I actually agree with that sort of thing. Young kids are smarter than you think, and they can teach things that some teenagers and even adults wouldn't understand. I should know. I mean, if Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra have taught me anything, it's that the younger generations often end up trouncing the older ones when it comes to intelligence and when it comes to the lessons they learned. It's all about it's all about people's different personalities, their different experiences, and how they handle things. Now, yeah, this is a pretty good episode overall, even though it has a couple of problems. But what are some other observations that I made about the episode? Well, I like the way Cheer Lee was portrayed in this episode. She's still the same heartwarming teacher that she was before. Nicole Oliver does a great vocal performance, and seeing her in a cheerleader outfit is pretty darn cute. Also, even though it's been season upon season that I've been saying this, Michelle Krieber, Claire Corlett, and Madeline Peters do a great job as Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo, and their vocal performances, both singing and with normal dialogue, are very impressive. And what is there to say about Ashley Ball's performances and Tabitha St. Germain's performance other than the fact that they're brilliant? And you know, this episode sort of makes me think maybe the Bronies will make a Pony Kart 64. You know, like Mario Kart 64, but they'll replace all the Mario Karts with Pony Karts, and they'll have all the Mario characters replaced with My Little Pony characters. Heck, they could even include a remixed version of the song included in this episode as a race theme. That would actually be pretty cool. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I liked this episode overall, even though the message seemed like it's something that the adults should have already known. But I've sinned episodes for things that are far worse than this, and it really wasn't the message that was the main focus of the episode, in my opinion. It was more about delivering a fun time with some cool carts, some great animation, a cool song, and some great action. And did it deliver on those fronts? Yes. Yes, it did. Ed Valentine and Mike Vogel really know how these characters, and they really know how to deliver great action with some great laughs and a positive message to go along with it. So, if you want to go into this episode, I say strap in, hold on to the wheel, and hit the gas pedal, because you're going to have a very fun time driving through the Applewood Derby. I give The Cart Before the Ponies an 8 out of 10. See you next time.